So I have a question for you guys. Have you ever just seen any famous person's story and just realized how much stuff they went through, and it just seems amazing how they even got through it? You could sit there and say, like, how did they actually get through it? You could question that and say, oh, it could be courage. No, partially, but it could be any other things. But the real answer is they had some grit. So for those of you who don't know, my name is Brendan. This is The Lost Tribe. If you enjoy this content, please be sure to like it, subscribe to the channel, and share this with people if they think it's going to help them. So they had grit. You could ask, what is grit? And in a very simple way to explain it, it's like, you could say like grit in a sandpaper. That's how I always think of it, is on the piece of wood, wherever it is, even in dire circumstances, whatever's trying to push it, it grabs. It grabs and it doesn't get blown away. And in human terms, essentially, grit is the ability to get knocked flat on your butt and still be able to get up and face things the next day. It's an inner strength, and it's a very good thing to have. I could even tell you from example, I have a lot of people just tell me, wow, amazing journey. They see all the ups and everything. Not many people have seen the downs in my life. And I've had a couple people just say how amazing it is, how I just keep on pushing through things. So I've been through some crap, man. Not to just I've had my highs. Lived in Ecuador for a couple months, but had my lows, lived in crappy living situations, and just other things. Just dealing with crap, addiction, all that. Where most people would just give up. But I didn't. I found strength within myself and just continued to push forward. And if you don't have the grit and you're watching this, my best advice to you is to find that inner strength. And you have to sit there and search for it, because it's there, man. Or chica, it's there. You just have to find it. There's something that's going to keep you going every day, even when you feel utterly defeated. And I've been there plenty of times. I've been to days that I just wanted to give up. Thoughts of self-canceling and all that. But woke up the next day, sometimes even still feeling like garbage, and just pushed through. Because realistically, there's no other option in my mind. So the sad reality is you will have shitty days. Everyone does. And if you can't pick yourself up from them, then you're not going to make it very far. And we all know those people, and I've been that person myself plenty of times. I didn't always have the grit. I did always have the grit, just as you always have the grit. You just have to find it. I didn't always know where my grit was. I didn't always have a reason to dig in and go. And my reason right now is because I refuse to live a mediocre life. At one point I decided that I am going to leave this plane of existence as the most interesting man in the world. It is a highly ambitious bar for myself to set for myself. But I'm going to make it. I'm going to make it if it's the last thing I do. And that's what you have to find. But I also didn't have the grit going back to that point at one point. But that was my grit that I found to get me going through every day. And just thinking, and this is a good one, actually, for those of you who have trouble finding it. Just think of yourself either past you or future you, or both. past you be disappointed in you giving up right now? Most likely. Or accepting the status quo, accepting the crap situation that you're living in, and just lying down to pass away, because I don't even know if I could say that word, and sulk in your sorrow. Would future you appreciate it? Because future you would be looking back at present you being past you and think, oh, if I didn't do this, if I just had a little bit more grit to get myself going and up off my behind, I would be in a completely different spot right now. And I mean, I could say the same thing. Realistically, if I had enough grit and if I had more grit, and I mean courage among other things, the willpower to continue forward, because even with my grit, I still sometimes slow down and I hit ruts, and the grit's what's going to help you get out of the rut. That's like some mud tires, baby. That's that grit right there. You dig yourself out. But if I had more grit, I would literally not be, I still could be walking on this path right now, but highly unlikely. I would be somewhere a little bit warmer, have a lot more money in my pocket, chasing dreams, making risky decisions that would have paid off, that I wanted to, but I was too afraid to do it. But the point is think of your past self and your future self, and that's a good motivator to get the grit to keep on pushing forward, because I know a lot of days it sucks. A lot of days life is and honestly most days life is a real struggle, whether you have money or not. And I mean, money, you have different problems, but without money, you definitely, obviously most people know what the lack of money problems are. It's really difficult to do a lot of things, but think of that next time you feel like you're down and you're out for the count and you want to just give up. And just make sure, and even then, you just remember, tomorrow is another day. You might feel defeated today, but if you wake up tomorrow and still give it your best shot, and don't let that sense of defeat carry through to the next day, you're ahead of 90% of the pack. Because most people will sit there and sulk on their defeat, but you, watching this channel, being a member of the Lost Tribe, know that defeat is a necessary step in success. Defeat is not a sideways move. Well, it is not a backward move, I should say. Defeat and failure is not a backwards move, it's a forward move. And if you have the mindset with that, you don't need as much grit, because you just keep on pulling yourself forward, regardless. But on that note, I'm reaching the beautiful beach, and today it's actually sort of beach-worthy weather. I'm not going to fool around, though, on the beach, because I have work. And that's the grit. I had the grit today to get out. Discipline and motivation, actually. However you want to put it, to get out and get a walk in before I do a lot more walking. I'm probably going to end up doing like a couple miles. But anyways, what was I going to say? Yes, I am here doing some walking before I have to walk another 2 miles tonight. Walking around, dealing with drunk people, making their drinks. I mean, it should be a very prosperous night for me, so I really can't complain. But on that note, guys, if you made it this far, thank you. Still holding the birdshot thing in my hand, the Bird Scarer 9000. If you enjoyed the content, please like, subscribe, so you can get more of this content. Leave a comment, and share this with someone you think would help. Because I know, especially nowadays, going through all pandemic and inflation, a lot of people that had grit, myself included, lost it during the pandemic. I had to regain it all. It got to a point that's bad, and I know I'm not alone in that situation. A lot of people went through some stuff And just like sandpaper, you can only rub against so many things and hold on until you get worn down. If you're a piece of sandpaper, you're just gonna let go. So, in the words of, I believe it is Shania Twain, tomorrow's another day. I'm not afraid, so bring on the rain. And that's the mantra. So wake up the next day, keep on chugging. But yeah, before I continue to ramble, name's Brendan, Lost Tribe. Peace out, guys. See you later.